All right, folks, welcome back. We've mentioned where we are here, the Esports Arena in Oakland, historic Jack London Square, but most of you may not be familiar. So let's bring you into that world and we'll show you a little bit more about this awesome location. All right, folks, you know what? We're here side by side with folks. The great thing about this, the traffic guy speaking, of course, is talking about the fact that we have parking lot attached to this very structure. Now, if you look around you, you may at some point just notice some bare walls. That's what a lot of folks saw. But the developers here at the Esports Arena Oakland, they absolutely saw something more. They saw a place where community could be built, and we're going to send it right over to the community that we have built back over there with our Twitch casters. Kelly, what do you have back there?
Mike, honestly, community is really important in the FGC. That's what the C stands for, the fighting game community. And Esports Arena working with like these events, promoting them through Wednesday night fights, and even now with Walmart, opening it up to a broader audience. It's really cool to see the FGC kind of develop in this way.
Absolutely. I mean, for the longest time, like the community is so important because local tournaments are not extremely profitable.
Right.
I mean, more so now, but for such a long time, so many years, it's something that is done purely for the enjoyment of it.
Yeah, you know, Alex Valle and Jimmy Wynn doing just a great job with Wednesday night fights, opening the doors to the community and have expanded themselves throughout California, for that matter, has just been doing such a great job in helping improve the community. So big shout outs to them as well. And, you know, without those two anchoring the community, we wouldn't have what we have today.
We wouldn't have Nigel going 3-0 for SoCal Regionals, and he's going up against LPN right now, everyone. Match number 4. Guys, what are your thoughts on this match?
I think that LPN, I mean, this is a good place to throw him in. He's definitely one of the best of one type players. He lays his heart on the line. He commits to his risks without regret, and that is what pays off in such a fast format like a best of one setting.
I think he has such a great presence in neutral and understanding of the mechanics of Street Fighter, how it wants to be played, and he's used to players like Nigel who are mix-up heavy. He understands because he's part of that himself. He's a mix-up master as well.
A really good
so
point.
he understands how Nigel wants to play, and hopefully he could stop Nigel from this onslaught that is Team SoCal, because again, it is currently 3-0 in SoCal's favor.
Now, I think that if he was picking characters purely based against Balrog, he would have gone with the Abigail, but because he's in a position where he has to take out several people to even out the score, I like that he's going with his main character, Bison, but...
Did you see him snipe out that anti-air with the upper?
He's saying no breathing room.
Not at all.
I will react to everything you do right now. Nigel is seriously on fire. This is actually so unprecedented right now.
The counter poking from Nigel and getting the crush counter. We might see the 7 golden letters appear on your screen, and that's a perfect.
There they are. I think the first perfect of the night, but honestly, if you 5-0 SoCal or 5-0 NorCal, that's a big perfect on your record.
That's a giant perfect. That's right. You know, you don't want to be a part of that at all. So NorCal's own LPN has to make the stop now against Nigel.
All right, yeah, it has to happen here. Applying good pressure, pushing him to the corner a bit. Now we're back to more of that patient neutral game. It's really up to LPN to react to the shenanigans of Balrog right now, but an unsafe scissor kick leads to a punish from Balrog, and we're back mid-screen.
Yeah, he still retains the offensive pressure, though. LPN does have that estate to bully Nigel in the corner with a life lead. He caught the backdash. Excellent block. He saw that 3 games ago. He was ready for the defense.
Absolutely. You know, the previous, oh goodness, he's already in the corner. Tons of damage, but Balrog's V-trigger is out. Another hit. We are so close to
He did it again.
He almost shimmy, but he messed it up. He messed up the shimmy. That could have been it right there.
No way.
Oh my God.
Nigel destroying Team NorCal right now with 4 solid games under his belt. And Team SoCal can't even understand it themselves.
No one has seen this coming, especially since no one knew Nigel would even be here today.
Who is this man?
Who is this man?
Look at Stupendo. He himself is just like, what am I?
Stupendous is like, you know, it is what it is. I'm just going to enjoy the ride. He sits back down on the couch. You saw it.
He got to play. He already got to play some Street Fighter today.
That's
but
right.
The other 3 players, not so lucky.
Yeah, and I kind of want to talk about that. You know, Nigel's been in the hot seat for about like 2 hours now, so he's very much so used to the pressure. He's gotten in his groove, and then you throw in LPN in there who hasn't really gotten to play up until this point, right? So that's got to be a factor of being warmed up for the games.
Mikey, XSK Samurai actually has to do the reverse one-player victory here.
And it's hard. It's very difficult.
It will
because
make history if he pulls it off.
Yeah, he's going to be going up with a character like Akuma, who's also another glass cannon, could dish out a ton of damage at a moment's notice. But if you open up his defense, he can falter pretty quickly.
We might be seeing the 5-0 sweep here for SoCal Regionals. But before we get to that possibility, everyone, we have Mike on the floor once again.
That's right. And alongside of me are two brawny young men. They're representing the Street Fighters, but they're actually not Street Fighters. Well, actually, you are, Alex. This is Alex Valle, and this is Jimmy Nguyen. And the reason I say that is because, Alex, some people call you Mr. Street Fighter. You guys are both here. You got your Wednesday Night Fight shirt on, but you're representing the Level Up organization. Tell me a little bit about that. Alex, we'll start with you.
Yeah, so Level Up is our direction and our vision is to level up the community, and which sparked me and Jimmy's idea of bringing the grassroots arcade-style training into everybody's regions. It started in SoCal in a garage and expanded to ballrooms, arcades, and eventually Esports Arena. But I couldn't have done this without my partner in crime, Jimmy Nguyen.
Now, why couldn't you have done it without you, Jimmy? What did you bring to the picture here?
Yeah, so back in the days, I used to do like a lot of video editing for tournaments and everything. And then when Street Fighter 4 got announced, I said, you know, why don't we do that again and bring a different aspect to it? So I approached Alex and said, you know what? You do the community stuff, I do the business stuff. So I developed all the infrastructure, bring the team together, and just really turn the company to a full-fledged production type company.
And one of those major events is what's right over here on Alex's shirt, right? We're talking about Wednesday Night Fights?
Yeah, so Wednesday Night Fights is a culmination of a lot of different testing tournaments, right? Everybody, got their feet wet in competitive gaming, but since I had both of us had a long history of tournaments, we pretty much put them through the boot camp, put them through the ringer, and now some of our best players, as you can see, SoCal has been striving for so many years into taking some of my skill set to today's modern play.
Right on. So you guys are kind of paying it forward. Video games have been around long enough now where you guys are paying up the next generation and teaching them. So I think that's what we want in any part of the culture, and you guys are showing the culture, the community, and the technology coming together.
Yes.
Well, good stuff. Jimmy Nguyen, Alex Valle, folks, we have them to thank in large part for what's going on tonight and the growth of this community and this profession. For no more on these professionals, I guess we send it back to Kelly.
Mike, thank you so much. I mean, I really do love this conversation about the community and everything. Right. And this grassroots vibe that obviously someone like Alex Valle can attest to. He's part of the reason that we have what we have now in the fighting game community. But the rivalry between NorCal and SoCal, we have NorCal Regionals and SoCal Regionals, both representing their own. They have their own tournament, essentially. Right. What is the rivalry? We didn't really get to go too deep into it beforehand.
I mean, in any community, you want to figure out who's the best, right? And within California, because we're not necessarily going to each other's local tournaments every week, we only get to find out who's the best in any given region at those big events. So when a NorCal Regional shows up, all the SoCal players are thinking, okay, that's where I want to perform. It's not even necessarily performing well on their own turf. You want to go elsewhere and make sure that every person you beat is a NorCal player, right, if you're a SoCal, and then vice versa.
Right, that's exactly it, right? When we have tournaments within California, come and think about it, when it comes to international challengers, right? Everybody has their eye on Wednesday Night Fights, no matter what venue it's at. It has the Wednesday Night Fights name. They're like, you know what? A lot of the players from California are some of the strongest. I want to fight them as well. So, it's a lot of pride on the line. NorCal definitely wants to beat SoCal, and SoCal wants to do the same, and they do it all the time at Wednesday Night Fights, right?
Yeah. And SoCal is sort of doing it right now. I think we actually have some replays to check out just how amazing Nigel has been in this competition.
Yeah, it's been an absolutely devastating run so far. And we're in a position here where he's put NorCal in the position where they have to do a reverse one-player victory here, and it's going to come down to XSK Samurai. Honestly, I would not put that burden on anyone but XSK Samurai. He is the one who is fully capable of doing it. I think it's an interesting point because Nigel, like Vicious has been saying, he's the one in the hot seat this whole time.
Right.
Team SoCal has actually been cold.
I think it's the Team Nigel show at this point, honestly. Right. But I do agree with that sentiment that Samurai is there as the captain for a reason. He's had such a tremendous showing throughout each and every Capcom Pro Tour, and he's evolved into his own character, right? He used to look, or he still currently looks up to one of the #1 Akuma players, Tokido, and he still does so today. But he's really finding his own groove, putting his personality in the character, and has found huge success.
Guys, it's been an intense competition. I know you guys are really excited for the final match, or potentially the final match.
Maybe.
But we're going to have to wait, everyone. We'll be right back after a quick break.